안녕 여러분! In this video we're gonna learn some Korean through the cartoon called Tangled. In Korean, this cartoon is called Rapunzel, and we will be listening to the healing song. It's kind of quite short, but still we have really a lot of useful vocabulary and grammar points. And I will be explaining all of this stuff in today's video. Also, I will provide, of course, subtitles in Korean so that maybe you could understand some words, maybe you could understand some grammar within it. So maybe they would be not that difficult for you, but I guess this level is quite really higher than I have my videos about. So be prepared.
찬란한 빛을 내서 마법 보여주렴.
So the first sentence is 찬란한 빛을 내서 마법 보여주렴. So first of all, let's break this sentence down. I'll put break here. So first of all, we will deal with 찬란한 빛을 내서, and then we will be back to this part. So the first word here is 찬란한. 찬란한 is an adjective, and it comes from the adjective 찬란하다. It means to be brilliant, also like radiant, splendid. Also, I will tell you that maybe you are wondering why we have here, it was supposed to be pronounced as 찬란한, right? Here, nu plus ni은 plus ri을, it will be nuru, right? But if you're wondering why I say 찬란한, then you should probably check out Korean reading rules. I will leave a link to this also in the description box and also somewhere right here so that you would check out because you missed a really important stuff. So let's deal with 찬란한 빛을. 찬란한 빛, the word 빛 means light or ray. And 찬란한 빛 means like brilliant light. So let me write it. 을 and also 를, we add this stuff to nouns and it is an object particle. Also, if you missed out and don't know what the heck is 을, then you should probably check out this video about pronouns. There I explain what the heck is this. So 찬란한 빛 means brilliant light, as I said before. So how we created this style? How 찬란하다 became 찬란한? I don't have video about this yet. I will have this video in future, but I will just explain it briefly. So we add ni은, 은 to adjectives. For example, if we wanted to say a good man, so we would say, by the way, ni은 we add to adjectives that end in vowel and 은 to adjectives that end in a consonant. So for example, let's take the word 좋다. 좋다. It means to be good. So what we do, we eliminate this ta ending because 좋다 is actually an infinitive, right? So we only leave this stem root. So if we wanted to say a good man, so we would simply attach 은 because here we have hit and it's a consonant, so the root stem ends in a consonant. That's why we add 은. So it will be 좋은, and the word for man will be 남자. So 좋은 남자. It will be a good man. Now let's take the word 내서. What the heck is this? 내서 comes from the verb 내다, and it means to return, pay. Here in this sentence it means return, but when we say pay, there is a really good expression. I will give it to you. No, mistake, no. 돈을 내다. It means to pay money. So what the heck is so? So is also a grammar that I didn't cover in my videos yet, but I will explain it briefly. So is so, and it's added to some, particular verbs to just connect two clauses within a sentence. So actually it means like something like and to just connect two clauses within a sentence. So now let's deal with this part. 마법 보여처럼. 마법 means spell. 보여, it's quite tricky. This is actually a passive verb. 보이다, to be seen. And there is one more verb, like verb version of this passive verb. It is 보다. 보다 means to see something. And here I'll give you like maybe two examples of it. For example, 빛을 봐. And let's say 빛이 보여. 빛이 보여. Here, 봐 is conjugated into the present tense. If you don't know how to conjugate into the present tense, then you probably should check out this video about present tense, how to conjugate verbs, adjectives, passive verbs into the present tense in Korean. So now let's deal with this stuff if you know how to conjugate already. So now let's continue. 빛을, as I said, 빛 is light. 을을 is object, particle, and 봐, conjugated version of the verb 보다. And this sentence means I see the light. And this sentence, the second one, so this will be first, this will be second. If we were directly translating this sentence, then it would mean something like the light is seen. Probably by me or someone else. But actually, we can translate 보여, even though it is a passive verb, but still we can translate it as I see the light, as a normal, regular verb. So these two sentences could be translated the same into English, but of course they have like a slight difference, this nuance of passive verb here. And as you can see, I attached different particles here. This one is object particle and 이가. It's a subject marker actually. And why this happens, it's, I guess, really tricky to explain this to you if you are a real beginner. But in brief, like objects cannot act on like passive verbs and also, I guess, adjectives. So that's why we attach different stuff to nouns here. But of course, I will make a video dedicated to this topic so that you could meet this topic like clearly and understand it clearly. So let's deal with this part. 처럼, it comes from the verb 주다, means to give. And actually within 보여처럼 there is also one more grammar. It is 오 주다. It is used when, for example, you are asking somebody for a favor or to give you some kind of service. It's like, please do something for me. It gives that kind of feeling. So for example, let's take a sentence, a simple sentence. 그 사람은 나에게 한국어를 가르쳤어. 그 사람은 나에게 한국어를 가르쳤어. That person to me Korean taught. It comes actually from the verb 가르치다. It means to teach someone. And this sentence is translated like that person taught Korean to me. So this is kind of like a simple sentence. But if we added this grammar, it would be 가르쳐 줬어. 가르쳐 줬어. I hope I write clearly. So 그 사람은 나에게 한국어를 가르쳐 줬어. These both sentences, this is a second sentence, just I shortened it a little bit, but I guess you understand the meaning. These both sentences, they are translated exactly the same. They mean the same, but the feeling in the second sentence is more like that person who taught me Korean, he or she gave me some kind of favor, some kind of service. Like I asked him to teach me Korean, and he did it. He replied to me, he helped me. So that's the feeling that 주다 gives. Next thing is left to be dealt with this really evil sentence is 렴. What is 렴? Actually, it's 렴 or 렴. And this grammar is quite complex, so for beginners, it'll be kind of like super duper hard. So 렴 we use when there is a consonant, right? And 렴 we use when there is a vowel in a stem word. So we use 렴 when we again ask somebody to do something, like please do something. And the tricky thing is that this stuff is used only when, for example, you are super old and you are talking to someone who is young. For example, a mother with her children, then a teacher with like small children, not like pupils who are in like 11th form or grades, but small kids. Then also this stuff is used when humans talk to animals. But there is one more very similar, absolutely the same grammar is again 렴무나. I hope you see it. 렴무나. It is again the same, it gives the same feeling, but the point is that 렴, it gives a little bit feminine feeling to the sentence, but 렴무나 means it's like slightly neutral of gender, so it doesn't depend like on gender itself.
시간 거꾸로 돌려 다시 갈 수 있게.
Next sentence is 시간 거꾸로 돌려 다시 갈 수 있게. So 시간, the word 시간 means hour. Let me fix the marker. Hour. 거꾸로 means backwards in reverse, vice versa, upside down. 돌리다 means to turn or spin. It is conjugated into the present tense. 다시 means again. And here we have a lot of grammar stuff. 갈 comes from the verb 가다, to go. Then we have this 갈 수 있게. We have this grammar 리을, 을, 수 있다, 없다. 리을 is added to verbs, adjectives, like passive verbs that end in vowel, and 을 in consonant. So this grammar means to can, 있다. 리을, 을, 수 있다 means to can, and 리을, 을, 수 없다 means to cannot. For example, let's take some example sentences. First one with 있다. will be, for example, 한국어를 공부할 수 있다. 공부할 수 있어. 한국어를 공부할 수 있어 means I can study Korean. And second sentence will be quite of like the same, but it's opposite. 한국어를 공부할 수 없어. It will mean that I cannot learn Korean. And then we have this grammar within ikke with this ke. So verb plus ke. It would mean something like so that, in order to. For example, if we were translating this whole sentence, then this would be make the clock reverse so that we could again go. In order to go again.
상처났게 하고 운명을 바꿔서.
Next sentence is 상처나게 하고 운명을 바꿔서. 상처 means injury, cut, wound. 나게 하다 means to heal, cure. This ko is added to verbs to kind of like mean and, like again connect your stuff so that you could connect like maybe two verbs within one sentence, etc. 운명 means fate, destiny. Again, do you remember what particle is that? Object. Right, correct. 바꾸다, change, switch. Here we have 바꿔서. 바꿔서. Here is added 어서 grammar.
잃었던 모든 것 다시 돌려주겠니?
And the last sentence is 잃었던 모든 것 다시 돌려주겠니? 잃었던, here we have the verb 잃다, which means to lose. This 어떤 is quite really tricky for that. You need actually to know what the heck is 는 것 principle. If you know this, then that's great. If you don't know this, then wait for my future videos to explain this, because if you know 는 것 principle, then and you like understand it, like really understand it, then your Korean would have a really kind of like high level. Not that high, but it would really help you in studying Korean. So let's take a look at this 어떤. So actually 어떤 is 아톤 or 어떤. It depends on the verb, where to stick it. So this stuff is describing past tense and upcoming noun. So for example, I will explain it to you briefly, like the pen that I used. So we would say in 3 versions. 내가 is I. 내가 쓴 pen is pen, logical. 쓴 comes from the verb 쓰다. It means to use, also to wear a hat. Very useful meaning. And also to write. And also it means to write. So we could actually translate this sentence to the pen that I wrote or the pen that I used, but I choose the translation as used. So here we added actually not 아떤 어떤, we added actually here 은. But once again, for that you have to know how to make these stuff. For that you need to know 는-것 principle. So I'm just giving you examples briefly. I know that you probably cannot understand anything. I'm really sorry for that. I will surely make videos about that, explaining it clearly. So then the next one will be 스톤. So that would be 스톤, I guess. Yep. And that is gives you a feeling. 스톤 pen. So I didn't write it till the end. 스톤. Here it gives you kind of like a feeling that you used that pen and you didn't use it anymore. So that's what 톤 actually gives a feeling to. 쓴, when we added 은 to this first example, then that gave you a feeling that is the pen that you used. We don't know if you use it up till now or you used it before and you don't use it anymore. It's just a statement that you use that pen. We don't know a lot of stuff about this. We don't know a lot of stuff from this sentence. But as for second example, we know that because of the usage of 톤, we know that you don't use this pen anymore. Then ink became dry and you don't use it anymore, you just threw it into garbage can. The third example is finally with this 아떤 어떤. So it'll be 내가 썼던 pen. So from the usage of 아떤 어떤, we know that you used this pen a long time ago and you use this pen up till now. So probably 이렇던 모든 것, 모든 means like every, 것 means thing, so it'll be like everything, everything that I lost. So the translation of this would be everything that I lost. So here, like logically, everything that I lost and I don't have it now because I lost it and I didn't have it now. So now let's deal with 다시 돌려주겠니. 다시, as we've learned in the beginning of this video, 다시 means again. 돌려주겠니, 돌려주다 means to return, to give back. Here we have two grammar points. The first one is 겠다. It means future tense, indicates future tense. For example, let's say I will go to store. It'll be 저는, in kind of like formal language, 저는 가게에 가겠어요. 가겠어요. I to store will go. 저는 가게에 가겠어요. And here 니, it's a question ending. It's informal and it gives a slight feminine feeling to your question. For example, let's take first sentence. 숙제를 했니? Here, 숙제 means homework, and here comes from the verb 하다, which means to do. So the person is asking, and this actually verb is conjugated into the past tense. So the person is asking, did you do homework? Like, did you finish homework? Did you do it? We actually could make a question just using 숙제를 했어? Yeah, that could also work. just a simple question with the verb that is simply conjugated into the past tense. But there are also some, not only ni, but there are also some other question endings, but we will learn these endings in our future videos, of course. But both of these sentences, they are translated absolutely the same. Like, did you do homework? Did you finish it? But the first sentence is with slightly feminine feeling. And also it's informal. And this one is informal as well. That's not all. Do you remember the translation of this word? Do you remember that? It means spell. Actually, I forgot to tell you one more word which is connected to spell. And it is 마법사. 사. It means magician or wizard. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, to like this video, to click on the bell, to comment if you have any questions, or maybe you have some wishes for me. I don't know, maybe some new topics of videos. Maybe you have a topic that you'd like me to explain to you in any language, like especially in English Korean, because I'm focusing on that now. So guys, thank you once again, and 안녕.